Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about the unit that you see on your screen here, the Earth Warrior Alencia. Now don't be fooled by her small stature, she's actually very powerful. You're going to see her mostly in PvP guys. She's extremely good in Arena and Guild Wars, especially on offense teams. And in World Arena / RTA, she is a very frequently picked unit. If you watched Epic 7 World Championship, you would see that she had pretty much almost a 100% presence in games. She's extremely powerful and can beat a lot of the meta Moonlight 5-star units while not being a Moonlight unit herself. So yeah, that being said, we're going to talk about how you want to build her, how you want to spend your Molagoras and skill enhances, and the best exclusive equipment and artifact in my opinion. That being said, let's talk about her skills real quick in case you do not know what to do, or just to refresh. Her S3 is an AoE attack. This will strip all buffs and grant increased defense to all allies for 2 turns. And this is very nice because this will CR push yourself by 50%. And this does a lot of damage because you're going to see it scales with Alencia's max HP. This is a very powerful S3 on a very short cooldown. It makes Alencia very good at dispelling buffs, obviously. It makes her very powerful against like Mediator Cowrick and DN, because as soon as they get that buff, that attack buff up on your team, you can just strip it immediately with Alencia. And usually DN and Mediator Cowricks are going to be faster than Alencia, so they have to struggle to choose between whether buffing their team or holding it off until Alencia S3s, and it becomes kind of a game of cat and mouse. Whoever S3s first kind of is at a disadvantage. So very strong. This skill is one of the best S3s in the game by far. Now we have her S2 guys. It is a buff or passive. At the start of her turn, she's going to get Mind's Eye. Now Mind's Eye, you can see here, is going to be a 50% effectiveness buff, and this cannot be dispelled. Now if you have unbuffable on Alencia, you won't get this buff at the start of the turn, so keep in mind you do want to keep her from getting hit with unbuffables such as like Angel of Lights. Very detrimental to Alencia, because you need to make sure you have this Mind's Eye up, because you're going to see after you S1, if you have Mind's Eye active, you're going to activate a secondary attack, single target, right? It will deal a lot of damage. Like her S2 trample does a lot of damage and also will inflict injuries. Now these injuries are very nice because there are a lot of HP scaling units in the game, and with injuries, as your max HP goes down, your damage will go down as well. That's why Alencia is the premier counter pick to like Apocalypse Ravi, because Alencia can, soften her up with injury and also make her do less damage. And also Alencia gets to a point, you'll see later on, that she can almost one-shot Apoc Ravis if the fight goes long enough. Now this damage will also scale with their max HP, and you're going to see that the more damage you do, that the more injuries will get applied. So yeah, her S1 guys, it is a single target attack. 75% chance to decrease defense. That's like insane, right? And this will also deal damage proportional to the caster's max HP. You can also see that it heals you, but that's because I have her on this exclusive equipment, which we'll talk about in a bit. But this skill is extremely powerful. If you land your S1 and defense break a squishy unit, then you activate your S2 after trample when Mind's Eye is on yourself, you're going to pretty much one-shot them, right? And this is why I was saying she can be very good against Apocalypse Ravi, because you soften her up with injuries. If you get lucky with your S1 defense break, you can actually end up one-shotting the Apoc Ravi later into the fight. And the best part is you can also soul burn this for only 10 souls, and this will be a 100% defense break, and it will defense break for 2 turns. So very powerful skill, guys. You definitely are going to see that Alencia's kit is very strong. She has a lot of single target pressure, and she also has this extremely powerful S3 that can defense buff your team and strip those buffs. Now, how do you actually want to build her? So there's 2 ways to play Alencia. I think the more common one is not the one I'm playing. Most people run her on injury and pen set, but I personally prefer the speed and pen set. So you definitely want penetration set, because it makes it so your S1 S2 combo hits very hard. And the force that you want to run is really up to you. Obviously speed set is more accessible for more players, but injury is better if the enemy team is pretty much all tanks. Now I like speed set because it makes it so that you can lap very quickly, you can abuse the fact that you can land more defense breaks, but I know a lot of people that do like to run their Alencias on injury. It's really up to you. You can always start on speed set and switch to injury, or just use speed set like I am, because I personally prefer it. Now for stats, you're going to want to change your stats depending on the set you're running. So if you're running on speed set, guys, you definitely want at least 20k HP no matter what. Actually, no matter what set you're running on, you definitely want 20k HP, because all of her damage is going to be coming from her max HP. Sure, she does want some attack. I say aim for like 2k and that's okay, but the bulk of her multipliers are from her max HP. Defense, just make sure you have a respectable amount. I had mine a little bit low at 1 point or 1060-ish, but you definitely want to aim for at least like 1100, 1200. It'll make her a lot more tankier. For speed, if you're running her on speed set, aim for 200 or more speed. If you're running her on injury set, then you aim for 180 speed. For crit chance and crit damage, I definitely recommend 100% crit chance for sure, and you definitely want 250% crit damage as well. 100% crit chance, 250% crit damage. Now, effectiveness and effect resist, you don't really need, even though you have a lot of debuffs and strips, you're also getting 50% effectiveness from that Mind's Eye. And since you are going to use her mostly in World Arena as the fights get longer, which Alencia is pretty much destined to do, right? She's very good in long fights. Keep in mind your effectiveness will be ramping up with the Battle Frenzy. So yeah, that's pretty much the stats and the sets you want to aim for. What about her exclusive equipment? So exclusive equipment, guys, very powerful. I personally recommend this exclusive equipment, right? So there's going to be multiple choices you can choose from, right? If we look here, you can actually see that we have one that can also make her S2 do more damage, the trample, and also you'll see you get increased effectiveness when you S3. But I personally think the S1 one is the best because, like I said, she does thrive in longer fights. And you also have to keep in mind that she doesn't have built-in sustain. And with this S1 exclusive equipment, you're getting lifesteal on your S1. The second best one, in my opinion, would be the trample exclusive equipment because of the fact that, yes, you can pretty much one-shot a lot of units if you actually have her on this exclusive equipment. But I find that you actually don't need this extra damage. It's just way more consistent to make sure that she stays alive so she can apply those injuries and also get those defense breaks off. Now for equipment guys, or not equipment, artifact guys, I think Draco Plate is the best option because you're getting extra damage and you're also making her very tanky because you're going to take less damage from critical hits. Now obviously you'll still take 100% damage from Hwyung because she doesn't crit, but for the majority of units in the game that are going to be run on crit, you're going to actually take a lot less damage. I think a really good secondary option would be Edward's artifact, Full Metal's Auto Mail, because you get extra crit chance, making it easier to build her. And also you're going to see that, every time she does use her S2 after her S1, you'll get extra crit damage and speed. Very good option. Personally, I think, both are very powerful. I haven't really tested Full Metal's Auto Mail too much on her, but I really like the Draco Plate's innate damage reduction that you're getting from critical hits. So definitely recommend, Draco Plate or that. They're both limited artifacts, I understand. If you guys don't have those, you can always run her on like Sepulchrum or even something like Alencia Nox's Wrath is not that bad because you'll be getting extra CR. You can run Durandal. Durandal's really good to make her tankier as well. But I definitely think Draco Plate and Edward's artifact are the best options. Now let's talk about her Mologoras. So pretty much you're going to want to plus 15 her. That's pretty much it. She is a bruiser, so you're definitely going to want to max everything. You don't just want effect chance, right? She is a pure damage dealer that needs to be able to survive. And by increasing her damage through skill enhances, you can invest more gold Mologoras into, or not Mologoras, more stats from your gear into tankier substats so she can actually survive. So yeah, Alencia is very gear hungry. You're going to see that she pretty much wants every stat but effectiveness and effect resist really badly. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you put her on very premier gear. Alencia, guys, if you have her, definitely build her. She's very powerful. One of the best bruisers in the game in the current meta, and it's a unit that's worth pulling for dupes for because of the fact that her imprint will give her HP, which in this case will be a damage enhancing imprint and also a tankiness enhancing imprint. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video though, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is pretty much how you want to build your Alencia and how you should be using her actually. But yeah, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. If you do end up choosing her from that selector because you have the other units already that I recommend above her, you should definitely build her. She's super strong. See you guys next video, and peace.